Hi guys, good evening.
There's no one here yet, my
Yeah,
friend.
let's wait for people to come.
That's not one.
Let's wait for them to come. No, it's an abrupt live stream. I'll be turning on the computer here. There are 3 people there. Hi guys, kindly let us know if you can hear us clearly. Let's first do the sound check. 10 people are there. Please let us know if you can hear us. Please let us know in the comments. Yes, we can hear. Hi, how are you doing? Where are you watching from?
What is that sound?
I don't know what that sound is. It's this computer. It's this computer. We're going to stop. Why are you laughing? Oh my god, stop. I don't know, that computer is overheating. But it's going to stop. Hi guys, where are you guys watching us from? Please be reading the comments. The comments are there. I'm trying to connect. You're laughing at the computer. You failed to read the comments. There are 40 people watching us. Hi guys, where are you guys watching from? Let's catch up. Let's first get to know one another. I know this live stream is really very abrupt, but we had to do it. My co-director, say something. Huh? You're just laughing.
Hello, everyone.
Why are you laughing? Tell them why you're laughing.
Just happy to be here.
Okay.
Hello from my peeps in Uganda and all over the world. Those of you who actually have tuned in, I know it's been a long time, so I blame Tina for everything because she keep promising to do consistent streams, but well, to be fair, the schedule's been kind of hectic.
Yeah, true.
Been super busy with planting, cultivating, preparing the actual land, the sections that we wanted to plant. So that's been taking place. But overall, it's been a while, right? I think it's been a few months.
Yeah, it's been
since we last streamed live.
Yeah.
Since we've done a Q&A with you guys. I know it's still really early back in the States, but we wanted to just check in to see how you guys were doing, to let you guys know how we were doing as a team, and yeah, just to take the pulse of the farming community, both here regionally, globally, because I know some of you guys follow us in all over the place, including the Caribbean, other parts of the world. But it's always humbling to actually spend time with you guys live.
True.
So we can give, I guess, more detailed explanation, if based on some of the comments that we get.
The comments that we shall definitely get here. But we really appreciate you guys for sparing your time to at least come and join us, even if it's really abrupt.
What in the world?
What is that?
Give me a second.
Is that the background?
Can you hear it?
No, it's not there anymore.
Can you hear?
Yes, I can hear.
Can you hear the music?
No, there's no music.
I think
The song you were testing.
The earphones here is very sensitive. So you can hit it and listen to music.
And listen to the music, okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
You're the one pressing the music.
No, I touched it by mistake. We're using new earphones, guys, and for some reason the music is just killing us.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because you can control the music on the phone by just touching them. And they're very sensitive.
That's true. So, what's going on, guys? We have people from Zambia watching us, people from Kenya, Malawi. Thank you so much, guys. we are happy. We're in Uganda. For those who have been really asking, we always get people who ask where we are located. Most of you are new to the channel. Of course, we appreciate people who have just joined to really watch the content, to follow our journey as well, to get inspiration, to be encouraged as well. Guys, we really appreciate you guys so much. Thank you so much. All right. Sorry about that, technical issues sometimes. It happens. It happens, but just bear with us today. When we take so long without doing the live streams, it's really not easy. But just bear with us. Today you're so happy. I don't know what is making you happy.
Just happy my people are here.
They're so happy.
I'm delirious.
Yeah, but we really appreciate you guys so much. And also the support you guys have really shown to us. All in our social media platforms you guys have been following, Instagram, Facebook. I don't take it for granted that you guys really even share this content with your friends and family. Thank you so much. We really appreciate that a lot. So we really have a lot to share with you guys. I know most times with the normal videos that we have, we can't really go for hours, at least maximum 35, 30, that is
even then some people are crying those videos are longer or too long. But we try to squeeze in as much information as possible during those videos, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, we can't make the videos 1 hour long.
Yeah, we can't do
so
that.
We try to keep them between 25 to 30 minutes max.
Yeah. And because you really realize from the videos that we make, we don't only do the good side about farming. So there's a lot that really happens as a farmer. From the topic, you can see freedom through farming. Of course, there's a lot of freedom through farming, but we also have our own, it's not all rosy sometimes, but we share all this on this channel. That's why if you really pay attention to all our videos that we put out there, there's at least something new that we bring out. Some points are really repeated, but it's just to emphasize. It's always to make sure that people get the points. And of course, for those who don't really watch the videos till the end, most of you miss out a lot because we really share the real truth about what we go through at the farm, our experiences, our friends' experiences, other farmers that we visit as well. So we really share all this on this channel. So I don't know why, guys, because from our analytics, most people are not subscribed to our channel. I don't know what you guys are really waiting for. So guys, subscribe before even you watch this live stream, because we are going to be sharing, we are going to be listening to you guys. And this was also a request from so many people who wanted us to at least come once in a while, do live streams, so that we can be able to at least answer a few questions and also get at least to know one another. At least we can be able to be closer to our subscribers as well. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, I'm only seeing 3 likes. Come on, you guys are here.
Hey, only 3
You're
likes.
fan here. This is really, really pathetic.
How many
Let's get
people
some
watching?
likes, make sure we push this out. But yeah, please.
Yeah, guys, keep liking the video. And of course, with liking, that also helps the video to be recommended to other people, as long as you really like the video. So guys, do not embarrass people. Do not embarrass us here. Someone is asking us why we stopped posting about pig farming.
We haven't
stopped posting about pig farming at all. Maybe, I think it's just...
We did a pig video not even 2 months ago. And it was a very in-depth video.
Yeah.
In fact, when we even got our new breeds from South Africa, we also chronicled that as well. So that goes to show you, maybe you haven't been checking in consistently, or maybe you don't have your notifications turned on, but we cover everything. Sometimes we may not do a specific dedicated video on that specific subject. We do farm updates where we update on all aspects of the farm. But no, we do post about pigs.
We do post everywhere, even shorts. At least
shorts, TikTok,
yeah,
Instagram, but mainly through the shorts, as well as some of the other short, long form videos. But we do post for sure.
Okay. Then of course, some people already complaining how they've sent us messages and we've not responded to them up to now.
Guys, I want to address that one myself. The good thing is with this platform, the company, the channel is definitely growing. What with that, we definitely been reaching a broader audience, and I know for a fact, like we're one of the few people that actually make a direct contact number available, right? And so, for most folks, as it's evident through this stream, we don't really stream live that much because, to be honest with you, we don't really have the time to do it as frequently as we would want because we're actually running a full-fledged business, running the farm, right? So while we do in terms of content creation and what we share, that's an added step. And of course, some of you guys do reach out, whether you want to purchase, a lot of you guys are interested in getting additional information, and sometimes it takes us longer to get to you guys because it's simply the volume of calls, emails, ways that you guys are reaching out. It's overwhelming. It's just Tina and I. We don't have a back office dedicated just to answer, WhatsApp messages, and we answer all of the emails ourselves, right? She answers some of the WhatsApp messages. Sometimes I do it, but I know it's definitely getting to a point where we're gonna have to hire dedicated staff to assist with that, But as a company, we're still growing.
Yeah.
The farm is still relatively new. And so we ask for you guys to be patient. But we live in an environment these days, where people have no patience. Where they reach out to you, they might send you a WhatsApp message on a Monday at 3. By Wednesday, they're on the comment pages, blasting us as if we're like worse than Lucifer. Guys, you have to be patient. Please understand, we get in a day, we get anywhere between 200 to 300 emails, roughly. And I think I'm undercounting that.
Yeah, you're
And
very
then,
responsible.
excuse me, and then in terms of messages on WhatsApp, like the phone calls we get from YouTube, particularly WhatsApp. I feel sorry for Tina because they call her before they call me, but the phone never stops ringing.
Yeah.
Even on the day off that she's supposed to have or we're supposed to have, we literally get like hundreds of phone calls per day, hundreds of text messages per day. So I'm not giving you guys an excuse. I'm just simply stating the facts, right? It's not that we don't want to speak to everyone. We simply can't. And another thing too, my brothers and sisters out there, please understand. The reason we make this videos free, we're not on Patreon, we're not getting any additional revenue for making this type of content. We do this because we wanted to chronicle our journey from when we started farming, the trials, the tribulations, the challenges, the success, because we wanted to bring as many people along with us as possible. We make all this content for free. We've been contacted by so many companies that want us to basically make classes, put all these videos behind a paywall. We don't do that, right? Because we want to share with you guys across the board. However, I have to say I have to take umbrage with many of my brothers and sisters out there, right? Where some of you guys are getting a bit out of control. Where you reach out to poor Tina, putting her under pressure, demanding additional information. And it's a very simple thing, just like you guys could be in here, offering, showing your appreciation by either sharing the video, sharing the links, or simply just sending your super thanks. If you want detailed information beyond what we put out in the videos, that's called a consultation. But many of you guys don't want to do the consultation, yet you want Tina and myself to basically set up your whole farming business for you for free. You have to be realistic. Guys, there's only but so much we can do. We're all business people. We are trying to run a business while being transparent to share what we're doing with the masses, okay? But you also have to really understand if you reach out to Tina or myself, right? And if we can't get to you immediately, try to understand. And when we do get to you, right, please, if you want us to give you a dissertation about pig farming, goats, whatever it is, that's called a private consultation. And most folks, they just want all that information immediately. They want the extra time from us immediately. And they don't really want to compensate for the time. You know, last I checked, this is 2023.
Yeah.
You know, like you all have careers for the most part, and many of you are business people. You know the first principle of business, time is money, you know? And so if the information we're putting out in the video is not enough, we always welcome you to reach out to us through the proper channels. But also, even if you can't get through to us for consultation, there are other notable farmers out there, right, that you guys can reach out to. Some of which our friend Fred in West Africa, he's also very knowledgeable, particularly with goat farming. And of course, there are other people that are available if you don't want to come through us. But we always urge you guys to make it, you know, a thing to just arm yourself with as much knowledge as possible. I know that was long-winded, but I had to really explain that.
Yeah, but of course we really love to really help, to always, you know, when you guys call in, when we want to help you, but sometimes it's really overwhelming. Sometimes people are really impatient. Sometimes your expectations are really very high, too high. In that, someone even had to text me one time. I thought you said you were going to be helping us. So why aren't you helping? Why are you asking for all that money?
Yeah, helping is making information available, setting you up on the right path, you know, and hoping that you yourself see the value. And if you want to get additional details, information is free. You can Google it yourself, you can seek knowledge on your own, but it's also good to speak to someone who's a practicing practitioner in your field. You know, some people don't see the value in that. They just want us to give them all the time. You know, poor Tina spends 6, 7, 8, 9 hours editing those videos. I feel so sorry for you.
You know? Sometimes, remember, we really go to the farm
to work. Yeah.
So when you come back, remember,
you're so tired.
You're very tired. The phone is calling non-stop.
Constantly, yeah.
Of course, I pick some when I'm ready to asleep. I just have to leave the phone to ring. But I get back to them most times.
And you know another thing too, guys, be mindful. Like we're in Africa, we're in Uganda, right? We get people that call us at like 2 o'clock in the morning. We get people that are calling for the first time on video call. Like who does that? with no warning.
No warning.
You know? We get people that literally, they don't even send you a message. They just call straight. And they don't think of the time. Like, at least look, you know, we're in Uganda. So there's an 8-hour time difference if you're in the West.
Yeah.
Especially if you're in like Orlando, you know, on the East Coast. I think it's an 8-hour time difference. If you're in California, it's a 5-hour time difference. I don't think it's as bad in California on the West Coast.
Okay.
But there's still a huge gap. And people just don't consider us on this side. They just want information. They want it right away. And that's that, you know?
Then, of course, the most common thing is about people coming to visit our farm. I know we've really talked about, you know, telling you guys when we shall be officially open. Because the people who even make effort, sometimes you plan your trips to Uganda, then...
Yeah, people don't even talk to us and there's no confirmation. This is the thing that's really sad. Some folks have planned their trip to Uganda to come see us, to come see the farm. Never get a confirmation. They just make it up in their mind, I'm going to come from the UK, or I'm coming from the US. I need to come to the farm. And they just come. And you can't do that. Yeah. Because, I mean, just think about it. Like, if you're running a home business, someone can't just roll up at your house like that, you know? Because we have a lot of animals at the farm that are sensitive, right? We have pigs, guys. We have to make sure our biosecurity is on point. And for many of you who are going into the business, you need to also take heed and follow the same steps, right? You can't just let people onto the farm, especially when you're not yet ready, because with us, we're still under construction. Yes, we're functioning, yes, we're selling animals, but we're still building the infrastructure in and around the farm. So we love you guys, we love the support, but by the same token, we're still farmers first.
Yeah.
Just like we hope you guys can become farmers first. And you can claim your freedom through farming, and that's the beauty in you setting the parameters, because number one, you have to protect your flock.
Yeah, true.
Because without your flock, you don't have a farm, So we really apologize for having to not, heed to people's demands to just show up at the farm. But at the end of the day, we're just trying to run a business, Well, we love you guys too, and we love the support you guys show us, just like we try our best to show you guys as much as we can to help you avoid the pitfalls of the business that we're in. Because believe me, we're learning everything through trial and error. A lot of the knowledge just came before because we did our research. But let me tell you, unless you're in the ring with the bull, you can't really understand the realities of that time and the danger you might be in unless you actually know.
Yeah, true.
So that's what I wanted to actually share. You?
Wow. Thank you so much for addressing that. But guys, we really love you guys. Just know that at least we do all our best to share what we can here on these videos. And of course, the people who have really come and they really want to visit the farm, I advise them always, let's have a consultation. Let's do online. Some, if really we have the time, we can meet you around Kampala. We can set up, one-on-one consultation meetings when it's arranged, when you're around, because coming to the farm is not really, it's really very tricky at the moment. We really have to protect these animals very well, so that at least when we have the numbers, when the animals are healthy, you guys can come, you can stay at the farm when we know that everything is really secure. We are protected, you guys are protected as well.
Because we're building different sections where people can actually come and stay at the farm, whether you're there for like a day or you're there for a week, you want to bring your family, but we have to set it up. We have to make sure that you can come and be comfortable, where you can enjoy the animals and you can enjoy the beautiful sunset, the fresh air, and the mountains and the whole thing, but yet not compromising the overall safety and security of the animals, and making sure that we do everything to the standard that we're trying to accomplish as a team. So you help us do that.
That's true. Then of course, for people who have been leaving their comments and questions in videos that we always do, I think we shall be utilizing the live streams to really tackle those topics so that you guys can get more knowledge on that. I think that is the best way we shall be doing it. Some will be videos, some will be live streams, so that we can definitely answer the questions you have for us. Then someone from Jamaica is saying,
Jamaica. I love Jamaica. Can I just say I love my Jamaican farmers. Oh my God, so I love Dr. Trevor Bernard. I love farmer Khalil. I really appreciate the way not just my Jamaicans, but the people in the Caribbean. I actually saw something where there's a group doing poultry farming, even in Haiti, at large scale. And they're doing like actual from start to finish. But I gotta say, man, the level of construction that I see with goat houses in Jamaica, those guys are the best at building goat houses. So if you're a Jamaican out there, if you're a carpenter, if you're a builder, shout outs, hello, welcome, and then you definitely should reach out to us privately, because if you come to Uganda, you will definitely find yourself becoming a millionaire through not farming, but building farming structures. Because the skills those guys have,
they have really unique structures.
Kudos.
Very uniform compared to what
to
we have
the
here.
level, the skill those guys have.
And you say they use pellets?
Some of them use pellets for the flooring, even in terms of ingenuity and creativity. Some of them are using just pellets to build the whole goat houses, the entire goat house from top to bottom. In fact, I even saw on Dr. Trevor Bernard's, Mr. Bernard's channel where he visited a farm where they actually are utilizing the plastic flooring. You understand? To actually avoid, to make it easier to clean, to maintain the space, the cleanliness.
Really?
So our Jamaican brothers and sisters out there.
So which kind of plastic? Are they also pellets or just?
It's a
plastic
pellet,
that is
but
flat?
this one is actually specifically made for flooring. They've been using that technology for pigs for a very long
For a long
time.
time, yes.
But now they're also
pigs.
making them for pigs and sheep as well. And these Jamaican guys are doing a fantastic job, men and women, by the way, because one of the coolest agritourism structure I saw was by an American lady who had relocated to Jamaica and built the most amazing goat structure I've ever seen. And Mr. Bernard visited that farm. And so, no, those guys are doing it well. So I have to give credit where credit is due. Yeah.
That is really so nice. And we have so many of them who really watch our videos and they feel encouraged by us as well.
Wow, we're encouraged by you guys for sure.
We also watch your videos a lot, especially Jamaican goat farmers. And most of them even want to buy boas from us. Sometimes I get surprised why they want to
No,
buy from us.
I'm not surprised because remember, the genetic lines are very different. In fact, you know, when you see the level of boas they have the American bloodline. They have literally like the American boa genetics.
Okay.
But then when you see what we have, the genetics we have are imported from South Africa.
Yeah.
So our boas versus their boas are very different.
Yeah.
Yes, they're boas, but the makeup of our boas are more of the classic look and feel you get from boas. So if you're looking at, most people are more familiar with the South African boas.
South African boas.
Right? Just like most people are more familiar. In fact, if you were to get some of the American boas here in Uganda, most people would believe they're local goats.
Are you serious?
Yes, because the dapple boas from the US, the one that actually have the different patches and different colors, they look like our local Mubende goats here.
Yeah.
So they would never believe that's a boa. You understand? In fact, we even have a pure boa that was born from a mom because the color pattern is a little different.
Yeah.
That one is gonna have to die at the farm because you won't be able to sell that goat to someone as a pure. You know?
So true.
So that's why they reached out to us for those genetics.
For the genetics.
Yeah.
And how is their growth rate exactly?
It's the same.
It's the same.
It's the same. In fact, some of the American boas are far larger than the South African boas.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, that is amazing. But shout out to you guys who have really reached out, and of course they want us to export for them. It is really a challenge, especially exporting from Uganda to other countries. We are finding a solution to that for now. For now, we are just exporting
to be honest, anything is possible. It's just that, just understand because of the distance, the cost for just shipping is definitely gonna cost. But there are other avenues. There's definitely ways to get straws, right, to Jamaica and throughout the Caribbean, which won't cost as much as shipping goats there.
Yeah.
You know?
Okay, someone is saying that. So one person visited Sinza Farms. That's amazing. That is great. That is
that's our friend Kenneth. Yeah.
Our friend Kenneth, whom we work with. So we have also people who have really contacted us from the Congo. You know, there's the biggest challenge with our friends from the Congo because of transport issues. It's about transportation.
Safety and transport.
Safety and transportation.
It could be done through air freight.
True.
But ground transportation, we wouldn't recommend it. But it's expensive. It's expensive to fly within Africa, let alone ship goats within Africa. You would think Congo is right next door.
Next door.
But it still will cost as if the goats were coming from South Africa, which makes absolutely no sense to me.
Yeah, because we've got so many people who want piglets from us. We do all the process, but when it comes to transportation, it becomes really a real challenge. The border, that is, I think, the border of Congo and Uganda, because of
closer to the west now, right?
Yeah, closer to the western part of Uganda because of the fight, the war that is there. So it is really very difficult. We apologize, guys. I know most of you have really reached out. You want the animals from us, and also to make it really worse, they can't even go through Rwanda because of still the restriction, the border restrictions with Uganda. So we really apologize for that. But once we get a solution, once you guys can fly these pigs, that is going to be possible for us. We really want to really give you our genetics to share what we have with you guys, but those challenges are there. That is what we face, and at least most of you know about it as well, because
Yeah, it's real.
yeah, it is real. Someone, of course, I think I talked to him last week. He really even traveled. He went to Kenya. I think he has a project in Kenya. Then he came to Uganda, but he wanted to get some pigs from us, but it was not easy. Of course, before him coming here, I told him to first find out the rates and also the freight rates, and also get the paperwork done from his side. He said the paperwork was very easy, but the challenge you had was the transportation to Congo, and was like, you know, I really want your animals, but this is the challenge that I've got. And I think that is something that we faced with the other person who came. We did all the paperwork from here, but when it came to transportation, things failed. So guys,
Yeah,
just
even with us, when we were getting our Doppler sheep
from Kenya,
my God, that was an experience.
it was
Because it was very difficult. The paperwork itself was not that bad, but then the criteria that had to be met, the quarantine of the animals, and then getting to the border, it was definitely a challenge. So it's easier to fly than to drive these animals.
driving on road.
But you would think it would be the other way around, right? Like you could just drive them across the border. But no, there are many restrictions in place to make that a little tricky. But we've only had that experience with Kenya.
With Kenya, yeah.
So I'm not quite sure how difficult or how easy it might be with countries like Rwanda or, you know, other parts of the East.
And someone is saying you could tell them about the Jamaican farming company for Trevor.
Mr. Bernard is the president of the Small Ruminants Association. He also has a YouTube channel called Trevor Bernard, and his contact is on his channel. So you guys just search Trevor Bernard, and he's definitely the guy. And you know what I love about that man? In watching his videos, he always emphasized farmers employing more women into the operation. How women are far better at managing farms than most men. And especially your goat farms, right? And making sure that the kids are good, that the animals are well cared for. Like they have that nurturing ability that most guys just don't have.
Yeah.
And so, you know, I also appreciate his overall knowledge and his passion. And I'm from the U.S. and I have a lot of friends from the Caribbean, a lot of Jamaican friends that I've gone back with all the way back to junior high school days. So these are people I've known for more than 20 plus years, almost 30 years. And I know the state of farming, particularly goat farming in Jamaica, back then to where it is now. Kudos to everyone, kudos to the government, kudos to Case, kudos to the actual commitment that they've made to actually gain freedom through farming, particularly goat farming.
Yeah.
You know, because they've made real investment and along those lines. What's so funny?
No, I'm just smiling. I'm just happy. to say.
Yeah.
Someone was even Henry saying that he's been watching Trevor for some time.
Yeah.
Especially when he tells you what to look for in a breed of a goat.
Uh-huh.
So he's really very
It's great.
informative as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. But really appreciate you guys. Guys, keep liking the video. We only have 16 likes. Yet we have 37 people watching. So guys, keep liking the video so that at least it can be recommended to other people.
I know the time is a little odd because
Yeah.
even though it's late here, people are just getting home from work in the US or they're just still sitting at their desk stealing time trying to get this live stream in, and we really appreciate it. So
we really appreciate it.
thank
I
you.
always say, At least subscribe and also like. We want more likes from you guys.
Speaking of subscription, man, we just hit 145K,
Okay. Yeah.
which is a real milestone. So for those of you that's been there from the beginning, salute. And we really appreciate the love, because the way the channel has grown speaks volume to how much you guys actually tune in, how much of you guys actually shared these videos with your friends and your loved ones. So thank you for that, and we really truly appreciate the love. I don't know what else I can say.
Thank you so much. Then also someone is saying hello from South Africa. Manjay, good evening from South Africa. We have so many people who also reach out to us from South Africa.
South Africa,
Thank
man.
you so much, guys.
I want to come to South Africa for a month.
Hey.
I want to experience, I think they call barbecue down there braai. I want to go to South Africa and enjoy a good braai, go to the coast, like literally just get a car, meet a good South African friend or good farmer there to look after us, and just go and be one with the people in South Africa. Visit as many good farms as possible.
That's possible.
I want to do that in Jamaica as well, you know?
I would really love to see the farms in South Africa in person.
Yeah.
You know, seeing the pictures, videos, and here and there, but from our people that we purchase from, but being there physically is something that I'm really looking at.
Absolutely, yeah.
Very soon. Someone is saying, do you guys, when will you start selling some dopership? I would like to tap into the genetics.
Ooh, I gotta tell you, good question. We actually have about 62 now that are all pregnant, for the most part.
Yeah, they are.
At least 50 ewes are currently pregnant now. And they're slated to deliver within the next month and a half to 2 months. So we're still building that flock, so keep an eye out, stay connected, and we'll let you guys know. Right now, I'm not surprised, but our pigs are producing at such a rate. My gosh. God bless those pigs, man. Seriously.
Someone was even asking, when talking about the pigs, someone is asking, please, can you share the key secret feeding of the pigs in 4 months to be ready for sale? Please, 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 at least say something.
Okay, so let me just tell you that it's no secret, it's a fact. So the feeding, just like when you work out, guys, it's not just you going to the gym, lifting, or you running. It's a combination of things, right? It's the same thing with these pigs. It's not just the feeds, it's not just the housing, their comfort level. You need to make sure, first and foremost, you have a constant source of clean water. Number 2, you have to, actually, let me flip them. Number 1, genetics.
Genetics first.
Number 2, the feeds. Number 3, water. And you have to also add a 4th one there, cleanliness. Because you can have the best breed, the best feed ratio, to make sure that your breeds are able to convert the energy into weight. However, if your pig pens are not kept clean, you are at risk to literally catch the swine flu and losing each and every single pig at your farm. So it's not just one. And yet some people are lucky they can keep their pigs in mud, they can never clean, which you should never buy from those people, obviously. But if you really, that's really it. It's not a secret. If you're, just like we always advise folks, if you know you have local pigs, no matter what and how you feed them,
Sure.
even if you're giving them steroids, which we do not recommend, they will never attain the weight that you're looking for within a timely fashion. So that's what I can tell you.
That is true. I think I read from somewhere where someone said, as long as you don't invest in your piglets, on your genetics, and you buy the most expensive feeds, you are going to make the millers, the guys who are making these feeds, rich,
And you're going to be poor. You're going to go out of business.
You're going to get out of business. Your pigs are not going to grow. Yet you're really trying your best.
You know,
so much in the
there are people who think, I think since we've been in sharing, the business of sharing info with you guys, there are people who really truly believe that they can take inferior genetics, feed them the most expensive feed, and expect results, right? But in reality, there are people holding on to their pigs for almost a year, trying to achieve 70 kgs.
True.
And you know, if you keep a pig once weaned more than 3.5 to 4 months, you're losing money which you will never ever recover. Your only hope is if you have your own butcher, butcher shop, and you have your own abattoir, and then you're using the innards, you're using the hairs and the Brussels to do other things for value addition. But if you're just going from start to finish, no matter how much you kept your pigs, no butcher or third party is ever gonna pay you more money simply because you kept your pigs longer. And mind you, the longer you keep your pigs, the muscle to fat composition in those animals change the older they get. And so you're going to end up getting penalized by wasting your money on feeding animals with poor genetics. And by the time you keep those pigs for 7-8 months, guess what? The overall fat that that carcass is going to carry, you're going to get what's considered just not premium pork, but whole pork. The whole pork is graded very differently, and your pricing for that is going to vary very, very, very different. It's going to be much lower than premium pork. So genetics is the key.
Is the key. Sorry. And the thing with the whole pork, most of it really even has so much fat. And you know what really happens? Yeah. Whenever you go to the butchers, if you're a person who sells your pigs to the butchers, you know what they do? They cut off all the fat.
Yeah, you still don't get paid for it anyway.
It's not going to be paid for. I was having a consultation the other day with this gentleman. I was trying to advise him how to really benefit more, still from the genetics. If you're to go for the low genetics here and you end up selling to the porkers, trust me,
they don't even want your meat.
They're not going to want your meat. First of all, the fat is going to be too much. They're going to remove all of it. They're going to cut the head. They're going to remove the legs. They're going to remove everything. And that is not paid for. That is for their own. That's how it is here in Uganda. I don't know how it is in your countries, but these porkers here, the head, the legs, all that is for theirs. That is how they pay themselves. So by the time they come to measure the carcass of the pig, it's going to give you less kgs, and that's going to really frustrate you. Yet you expected maybe more from the pig, or maybe you wait from your farm before taking to the butcher, and you're going to get what you expected.
You're gonna lose way more.
You're going to really lose a lot. Yeah. So guys, advisable. One piece of advice is to get, if you can, at least get somewhere to sell your own pork. If you have a butcher, a pork joint, that is also advisable. Get your
but
eatery.
The key starts with genetics.
Genetics, yeah.
That's it. That's the answer to that question. You need genetics. It's not about, the feeds are important if you have the genetics. If you have the genetics, you'll be able to convert that into muscle, into energy for these animals, and not waste it. So the locals, if you're doing farming for your personal consumption, then it's up to you. But if you want to do commercial farming, genetics is everything.
Okay. And of course, to know the breeds that you have also as well. There are so many new upcoming farmers who don't know so much, but because someone has convinced you this is how the light white looks like.
Don't just go to your church and listen to your pastor and say, hey, I have pigs. What do you have, pastor? They look exotic because the skin is
pink.
White. They're white. There's no black spots. And then here you go. You spend your money to build your structure. You already plant your feeds. And then you coming home with piglets from someone that I don't even know if they've been inbreded, if they have paperwork, if they have nothing. My pastor has pigs. Yeah. A very good friend of mine had some. And then you're trying to be cheap. You're going to end up paying the price.
You're going to end up paying the price. So pay attention to some of these small details that we are telling you guys. because it will cost you a lot. As they say, cheap is expensive.
Very.
Sometimes you can go to a place and the price is a bit lower and you feel like, oh my God, let me go with this one, but you don't know what it's going to cost you at the long run. So it's better for you to really put something, invest in yourself, invest in the animals that you're going to have at your farm, so that you don't really get into losses, so that you can enjoy farming. This is what we call freedom in farming, because if you have the right genetics, if you have and you're seeing your animals multiplying, you see them growing very fast, you're getting rid of them very fast at the farm, you're going to enjoy yourself.
I just want you guys to think, out of the bunch of you that are watching live and those that may come in and watch this video, this live stream in the video form later on, let's just be honest with yourself, guys. How many of you now that are literally looking at the clock for it to hit 5 o'clock? Some of you are just walking into your office. You're not even there for half the day. And yet you are consumed with the Easter weekend coming up. You are consumed and you're beat up and so tired, not just physically, but mentally, spiritually. You just beat down because you have to always go punch the clock for somebody else. And yet that person has the ability to fire you at any time. And the reason we title this stream Freedom Through Farming, for myself, I can only speak for me. I was in the corporate sector for more than 15 years. I understood what it was like to be in constant pressure, always looking over your shoulders and hoping and praying that your boss is waking up on the right side of the bed and he or she won't walk into your office today. If you're working for a mid to small company, at that point, most of you are employees at will. But if you're working in a super corporate environment, you might have some HR protection. So they do something called managing you out, where they start to watch you when you walk into your office a minute late. That's a verbal warning. You leave 2 minutes early, or you come back 5 minutes late from your lunch break. Guess what? That's a write-up. Where they literally get to the point where they are so much in your business, they manage you out. They want to frustrate you to the point where you either quit. That's what they want you to do, because they don't want you to get unemployment. But the fact is, you're miserable. You can't be your best self at home if you're unhappy with your profession. And I know what that's like. And I was a banker. I had it light compared to most of you guys out there, right? I know some of you are doing the hard stuff. You're working in accounting, or you're working as a pharmacist, where you really have very high stress positions, and either air traffic controllers, you name it, construction workers, working in these skyscrapers, and you just need to find a way to get out. And many of you are in your mid-30s, some in your late 20s, and you're thinking about, are you ever gonna retire? Well, you don't necessarily have to retire to have freedom. You can do that through farming. I can tell you guys right now, 1 to 2 or 3 trips of us sending out pigs for processing are basically paying 3 to 4 months worth of some of your salaries. And yet you're working 60, 70, 80 hours a week, missing time with your families, missing time, birthday parties, games, family night in school. And yet you can literally walk away with your dignity and come join us and do the good Lord's work. And there are many of you that are all over Europe, all over Dubai, all over even in Australia, working in Singapore, in those high corporate positions, but you're miserable. And yet many of you have land. You have your land here in Africa, you have land in the Caribbean, you even have land upstate New York, land in Mississippi, Alabama, Maryland. Dude, man, madam, sirs, it's time to come and claim your freedom. Because if you calculate the price of food right now, many of you, your paycheck is barely enough to just eat, let alone pay your bills. Well, if you have a little bit of savings, invest in yourself, invest in your own business. And the beauty about farming, yes, it doesn't take rocket scientists to learn the basics of farming, but you still need to be a good business person. And the beauty about farming, these are learned behaviors. You understand? These are skills that could be taught to you, that could then be transferred generation to generation. And of course, take your corporate experience and put that into your own business. And 2-3 years down the line, you'll experience what it's like to make 2 to 3 times your salary. Sometimes it may take 4, sometimes it might take shorter than that. It depends on the type of farming you decide to do. If you decide to go into microgreens, you're talking what, 6 months? You're already off the ground. You're off and running. But if you decide to go into livestock, it may take longer based on the size of your pocket when you enter the fray. What are the people saying?
Someone was asking about the genetics that we are recommending for them to get.
In terms of pigs?
Yeah, in terms of pigs.
If you can get real large whites, real Landresses, real Canberras, and Durocs. But what we mean by real, it depends on where you are. Because if you're in the UK, those genetics are different. In the UK, you can get your Tamworth, you can get your Berkshires, you can get your Hampshires. There's so many different breeds. But if you're on the continent, right, I have to give a shout out to my people down in Zambia, my people down in Zimbabwe, as well as the folks down in South Africa. There's a reason every time people are looking for the best genetics, the South African region made heavy investment into livestock and livestock management, going as far back as 60, 70 years ago. And they've been able to breed the best genetics we can find on the continent, you know? But in terms of the breeds that you should get, first question is where you located and what's available. But for us here, what we can experience, what we can share with you, we love the large whites, we love the Landresses, and we love our Canberras. And the reason that we mentioned the Canberras last, of course, if you can get Durocs, Durocs is one of the fastest growing pigs in the world, right? But if you get yourself a pure large white, a pure Landress, when they cross, they give you a
Canberra.
So that's how you get to a Canberra, you know. But a lot of people will have their large white mixed with something you don't know. They might have some Hampshire. You know, you might have 2 pigs that are supposed to be white. All of a sudden, they're coming out with different spots, different dots. You know, it could be a bit tricky. You understand? So, you know, you have to first look at your look at your plan, your business plan, check your financials, check twice, because this is a very serious commitment. And you have to make sure you have that honest conversation with yourself. You know, there are a lot of people who, I'm a former banker, guys. I actually have colleagues that I used to work with that I can tell you have jumped off the roof. Traders that I used to work with, you know, like they've walked the plank. And some folks do worse. They develop very horrible habits, whether it's drinking, drugs, physical abuse of their children and spouse. And it's because they hate the career that they're in. The job is literally getting the best of them, both in the office and in their personal life. I have been so happy since I made the transition to farming. Because I find myself going to work and I don't feel like I'm working. Granted, my body says something different because I get tired, I get beat up, I get headaches sometimes from being in the sun and I'm not drinking enough water. And I can hear my mom now, may God bless her soul, drink your water, boy, yeah. And so, but I always come home happy. That, my friend, you cannot put a premium on that. And another thing too, there's nothing better than to get messages and updates from the farm.
newborn.
when the newborn kids are there, when a sow gives you 18 piglets or 16 piglets, and then you think and you do the math, you're like, wow, I took care of this animal while it was pregnant for 3 months and 3 weeks, and I just have 18 new ones, and then you can just care for them for a matter of 4.5 months.
4.5.
So one pig that gives you 15 piglets can literally put at least $3,000 to $4,000 in your pocket. In Africa, that's the equivalent of you making $15,000 to $17,000. So I don't know. I feel like we've cracked the cheat code.
We have.
Like we've cracked the code.
We have.
And again, it's not easy.
It's not. It's not.
But it's durable.
Yeah,
it's durable. Like there's a direct path. You know, there's no rocket science in farming.
That is true.
It's very straightforward. If you went to pigs, you know when you cross your sow, 3 months, 3 weeks, 3 days, 3 hours later, you're gonna have a new batch of piglets. As long as your feeds are ready, you feed those piglets when you wean them. You start them off with the crib feed, you know, and then you wean them off their mom. Literally, from that day, which is 2 months,
You start counting.
you start counting. Wow, I'm gonna have these for either 3.5 months or 4 months.
4 months.
I have to feed these animals, and you can even calculate the cost of the feed to the penny. Why would you not want to have that certainty?
That is.
You know what? I'm sorry. I'm just very passionate about this stuff. Please.
Yeah, but that is so true because it's all about planning and how you know about the project.
Of course.
That's why you don't just jump into the project because of the bandwagon, because you see someone is doing something, then you think you're also going to manage it. Like we've told you, it's not all rosy. It's not. We have our challenges. We have challenges that we face as farmers, but you have to equip yourself with knowledge. Learn so that at least you don't make these mistakes. Because if you do the best, you're definitely going to.
As we're on the topic of learning, my brothers and sisters, please, 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 and please, don't think just because you love your wife, she's gonna make a great manager for you. That might not be the case. Don't think because you love your children that automatically your kids are gonna be able to take over the family farm and just take it to the next level. Now, if you as a father, as a mom, as a family, if you have the children, if you instill the love and passion of farming into these folks, into these kids, chances are you're not gonna have to force them into farming. They're gonna have the natural love, for it. But you cannot force your daughter who went to medical school. All of a sudden your back is starting to hurt. You can no longer manage going to the farm and think your daughter's gonna give up her career as a medical doctor to start farming. That's gonna be a tough pitch. But I will also tell you, don't make the mistake that the old way of thinking. Don't think the only way you can start farming is a part of your retirement package. You can start farming at 20, 15, 16. Yeah, you still have to juggle school and your farm, right? Granted, when you're done with school, you have more freedom, but you don't have to move back home with your parents. You have all the student debt, you have all this stuff you have to deal with. Get your hands dirty. You know, I can tell you guys right now, I know fellow farmers that were clerks in the US. As a matter of fact, true story. When I was still working at JP Morgan, and I can put my hand on the Bible to this, I used to work with this gentleman who was actually from Guyana. And he was a security guard. As a matter of fact, I was actually one of the branches I used to cover as an RM. I used to cover 54th and 6th Avenue, right across the street from a Hilton, right? And this guy, the main building that branch was located in, he was the main chief security officer for that building. And he had been there for more than 20 years. Really? And we were very, very good friends. And I remember when this guy literally came up to me and told me that he was gonna quit his career working as a security officer because he wanted to go back home to to Guyana to start a poultry farm,
Mm.
and that he was gonna take money from his 401k, right, to go back to Guyana to start a poultry farm with 3,000 to 4,000 birds. And then he basically told me, hey man, come see me in a year and a half. You're welcome to my
Are you
home,
serious?
and I'm gonna show you how you can become a millionaire through farming. And me, I'm a forever optimist, So we kept in touch, we were good, and his son was still going to school at Baruch College, which was not too far from where I lived at the time. And I almost forgot all about it. And by the time his boy graduated, it was like 3 years later, this gentleman came back. And I'm telling you, Tina, if he did not show me what was in his bank account at JP Morgan, I would have thought he was lying to me. This man left a job in the US where he was barely bringing home $2,600 a month. And again, this was like more than 15 years ago, which was pretty decent back then, right?
Yeah.
But 3 years later, this man showed me his bank account, Tina, and he had close to $190,000 in one of his operating accounts. Like he literally was so proud and happy, and he's like, no, have this girl pull this account. I want to show you. And then what was even more impressive, he was making the money in Guyana, but he was sending it back to the US. And when his son got married, the money that bought their first home, his son's first home for his new wife, came from dad's farming effort back in Guyana. And this was just him starting out a small poultry farm that he grew to now one of the biggest poultry companies, I'm sure, in Guyana. You understand? So these are all the seeds that were implanted in the back of my mind. That's also what helped push me towards farming, even when I was working as a full-time banker. That's how I ended up here. Those are all the influences.
Those are the things
of course.
that pushed you.
Of course, that led me here. That showed me it was possible.
It was possible.
Absolutely.
That relates to one of the stories you're telling us about someone who came back to Africa to invest, but was sending money back to the US.
To send his kids to school. To pay for the mortgage over there for his, for the house. Yeah, and it's possible. And so the advantage you guys all have, I know somebody from the UK will find this live at some point on a replay. Think about your experience that you have gained in the diaspora. Well, I don't care if you're a security officer, banker, mortuary, customer service representative, those skills, right, will translate into you running your own business. You understand? You literally need to actually take the step, come up with a solid plan, look at your finances. Don't just jump off the roof in terms of into your corporate gig into farming. You can gradually make your way into it, but don't just trust your brothers, your cousins, your uncles in them. You need to find the right people, surround yourself with like-minded folks. Join this farming community because we're one family. Not always happy, but we're one family. You understand? But what's important in farming, but you can always find people that are doing it on the small scale, that want to scale up to the large scale. Some might be somewhere in between, and you can find your way you can build your own niche within the community, and don't just focus on livestock. Livestock is one. You have to figure out where your land is located, your climate, amount of average rainfall you get for the year. That will help dictate what you end up doing in farming. Because I know people that are making hundreds of thousands of dollars on very small plots just doing microgreens. Okay? So be flexible, have an open mind and open heart, and remember, in the world of business, like any functional marriages, there's no room for pride. Okay? Sometimes you're gonna fall, you dust yourself back up, you just keep going. That's all I have.
Wow, that's not all you have. You have a lot. That's not all I know. I think that is just, sneak peeks, points here and there, but that is not all you have. But guys, we really appreciate you guys. Keep liking the video. You can also support the channel as well. Guys, we've not seen you guys supporting us on this live stream. We have super chat as well. You can also join membership. We want more members so that you can support.
But the main thing you could do, buy Tina coffee,
buy
because
some coffee as well.
she's definitely a coffee aficionado.
Yeah. So if you're really gaining something, at least say something. At least give me a cup of coffee. Even my co-director here.
Me? I like goat.
Yeah. Buy for you some goat.
Hey, why not?
Some tips.
So someone can sponsor a goat at Value Farm, and when you come to visit, that goat will be there.
Will be there.
It'll be your. No, you can't. Are you serious, Tina?
That's what.
You know what?
The one that sponsored.
No.
But they come and they enjoy.
They come and see, and the one they sponsor, they can see their offsprings, and they could be like, "Wow, I left a mark the Value Farm." And of course, if they didn't get their own land, the offsprings are theirs. You take it and go and and let that be a seed for your farm.
For your farm as well. So guys, keep supporting the channel as well. Keep supporting me and my co-director.
You want to slaughter a boa, Tina?
I can't slaughter a boa.
Oh my God!
I can't slaughter.
They're gonna come for you.
Oh my God, that is really something. There's something.
I don't think I will ever know what a boa goat meat tastes like because I love them so much. Okay, what are these people saying? I'm seeing messages.
Yeah, I was just going to tell you about something that I posted on TikTok about, when you invest so much in the boas and maybe the farm manager tells you like some are missing and the heartbeat changes the pressure. It's not easy. That's the key component. That is management. Management is really very key. What are the people saying? So someone is saying very inspirational. Then show your poultry investment as well. You seem to have settled on pig, goats, and sheep. You are doing exceptional well, inspiring real life stories about the guy in Guyana as well. Then someone is saying, so inspiring. Thank you so much for sharing always. We appreciate it. You're welcome. Thank you. Yeah. We really appreciate you guys as well. Then, but we can also share another one. So guys, I think about 3 months ago now, when we went to pick up our third import shipment of goats from South Africa at our friend's Kenneth's place, we actually met a young farmer who's from Mityana, and he's a big fan of Value Farm. As a matter of fact, when we got out of the vehicle to enter the compound, at first I thought, I'm from New York, so when people are just looking at you, typically you feel some sort of way. It makes you uncomfortable. And you gotta be ready to, protect yourself. Oh, wow. And so this guy was just looking, and then here I'm standing there. It was raining, and Tina's still in the car. We're meeting with Dr. David to make sure the goats were okay. And this guy called his wife, and all of us like, that's them. That's Value Farm. So long story short, we found out that this young man actually had cattle before. And he actually sold a good number of his cows to purchase goats. And let me just tell you, it was one of the most proud moments of my life being a farmer and sharing with you guys on this platform, because he was able to share that he sold some of his cows and he purchased some savannas, some boas, and he actually listened to the fact when we told him, we tell everyone, you can start with local goats, you can start with local sheep, but whatever your budget can do for you, save your money and enhance your genetics, at least buy yourself a pure buck that will change the trajectory of your farm. And that day, that man was there. Yeah, he was there. To pick up his boas from South Africa. Yes. And afterwards, we exchanged contacts, and I actually saw his farm. I saw some of the videos. Yeah.
that he had. He's doing content. He's just starting. And let me tell you guys, I'm so proud that this, like, that's why it gives us the inspiration and the energy, right? Even after working a full shift, to be sitting here at almost midnight giving you guys this info, because this man literally was still working a full-time job.
Yeah.
He had his cows, but he wasn't making enough money keeping his cows, because cows take a very long time for you to start seeing a profit. Cows are a great mixed farming add-in in the business, right? But to have cattle as the main business, when you get into farming, your startup capital needs to be enormous. And so he listened. He liquidated half of his cows, purchased some goats, and when I spoke to him, he had almost 200 goats.
Yes, he's doing well, by
the goats are looking amazing.
Yes.
He has land. He's expanding, and he's in Michiana, guys. And so it feels good to know that our message is getting through to some people.
To some people.
We're not gonna get everyone. We can't convert 100% of everybody watching or finding this video later on once it's been converted to a video, because this is a live stream. But it's a wonderful feeling to know we're having that type of impact. And people are finding freedom through farming. Because from what I understand, he was a truck driver that was barely home. He used to do the long haul from Uganda to Tanzania driving.
Are you serious?
Exactly.
I didn't get that part.
And no, I was
You
speaking
talked to him,
on the
because
side.
I was busy.
And then he converted, and now he's home with his family. He has his goats. Or most of his female goats are pregnant now with the newborn male that he brought.
That you brought in.
So now, 7 months later, he's going to be king of the castle.
That is so
out in Michiana. You know, the tent of farming is big enough. We don't need to keep secrets from you guys.
We can't do that.
There's no need to hate on each other. The business, the business of a farmer, our work will never be done. And that's why it's known as the Lord's work. The most noble profession you could be in, especially now.
Yeah, true.
With the way food prices are going
up everywhere. It's not only in Uganda.
It's everywhere around the globe, believe me. But at least, you know what will happen if you're a farmer? With the Lord at your side, you'll never go hungry.
That is true.
You will never go hungry.
Hey!
Times get tough, you can always take a goat. you can always get your veggies.
Huh?
You understand? People are complaining about the price of eggs. Literally, we can go to the farm tomorrow and bring home like 5 trays of eggs. You understand?
That is true.
In fact, I don't even remember the last time I bought milk.
Yes.
You understand? I have 4 bottles in the fridge right now. 4 bottles.
4 bottles of milk.
And that's excess.
How many liters? It's 1.5
1.5 liters each. I have 4 bottles in the fridge right now. Fresh. No water.
No water. No addition.
Full cream.
Exactly.
You understand? So guys, please. Many people want to have the fancy titles as they're making the money.
That is so true.
But yeah, they're suffering. They're suffering.
Jesus Christ. That is one of the things that really happens here. You know, you have the title. You want to be called engineer, doctor.
But guess what? Those guys are barely making $150 a month. And you as a farmer, you literally can sell, 10 goats?
True.
And bring home at least $2,500. And I'm talking about the local goats. Like the Mubendes, not even the pures. But if you sell a pure, that's enough to pay the rent for 3 months. That's enough to pay for the car, repairs, fuel, food for at least 3 to 4 months. You understand? Based on where you are. I'm talking about Uganda now. You know? So yeah.
So there's some lady, I listened to her story. She was working in a corporate company and she was, I think, earning in Uganda here. She was earning monthly like 5 million Uganda shillings. And
which is like 1,500?
Yes. So that is good money for the salary here. So most people, she told her story why she quit and she started clothing. She started like thrifting and getting clothes from the market, from abroad and China, because she wasn't very happy. She wasn't appreciated from her work. So most people were like, how can you leave such a juicy salary for, getting back home when you're selling your clothes from home as well? Because she was doing it even online. She didn't even have a shop, because she said she wasn't ready to even invest in a shop, because she had already reached out to her Facebook friends, her Instagram friends, and she had people who were always buying these clothes, and she was very happy with what she started with. But the market was really too much for her, because recommendations became like recommendations. So that really tells me, like someone who is like in that corporate kind of office, but you're very comfortable, even if the salary is really that juicy, but you're not happy inside you, it's not a good look. It's not something that is going to really, it's going to even get you diseases, pressure.
Yeah, high blood pressure. Yeah.
So many things will happen.
You may catch a stroke because of the stress.
Because of the stress, you don't have time, like already said, you don't have time for family, you don't have time for friends, family. You can't celebrate with people. Christmas, Easter is coming. People are going for holiday. You're back in office. You're supposed to submit reports.
Let me tell you the sad truth of what you just said. There are many people watching this video now, or they may find this video in the future, and they know what I'm about to say is true. That they are there now trying to come up with the illness that they're going to come up with for Easter to extend the weekend, the holiday weekend. Many of them are thinking which parent or aunt or uncle they can kill off to get extra time off from work.
Oh my God, that was so common.
No, I'm telling you, because people are suffering. I'm not trying to be funny.
It's not funny,
I know these things happen. Like, let me tell you, Tina, there are literally people that I can tell you when I knew for me, it was time for me to walk away from banking. And I had a very cushy position. It was very stressful. Though I had Saturdays and Sundays off, I only had one day off from the mental anguish. By the time it got to Saturday evening around 9 p.m., the anxiety of me having to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning to go to work in a banking corporate setting was already the only thing at the back of my mind, front of my mind, literally, like it was eating me up. And I had a very good salary, great bonus structure, but that's when I knew. Though I was off on Friday at 5 o'clock, by the time I would get home, it would be like 7 p.m. And I would have Saturday off. But halfway through Saturday, I'm already thinking about Monday and how much I was dreading going back into that office. There are so many of people out there that knows exactly what I'm talking about.
True.
And for them, they don't think there's a way out. Guys, for some of you, I know many of my friends in New York that don't even have a passport. I know many of my colleagues in Florida that have never been out of, let alone the state of Florida. They've never been out of the state, so they've never been out of the country. It's okay to expand your horizon. Not just in a book, not just watching movies, but when you are able, take some time off. And not everybody's going to make it to the continent of Africa. But you know where you can go? You can go to Belize. The Mennonites have left the country of Belize. They went to the Amazon. So there's a very, very big gap in farming and farm production in the country of Belize. It's only 40 minutes from America.
True.
Land is relatively affordable. You can go to Panama. You can start from there. You understand? You can go find a safe part of Mexico. If you can go to Portugal, go somewhere. Choose to live, man. Choose to live. Choose freedom if you can. Don't become a shell of yourself. There are options. I think one of the greatest quote I've ever remembered from my father. Once, as a child, you had a dream. Many, many dreams. But as an adult, you have options. So in this time, in this particular moment, choose your life. Choose you. Choose your family. Take your money come up with a plan. If it's in agriculture, find where you can get great arable land, whether you're buying or leasing. Choose happiness. Walk away from the corporate straitjacket. You know, I know it's scary,
It is very scary.
but what I can tell you guys, if a former banker can walk away from a ridiculously lucrative career in banking, and now I'm a proud farmer, no shame here. Many of you guys are way smarter than me. I'm not an engineer. I'm not a surgeon. I'm not an astronaut. You understand? I was in finance. That was my thing. I did real estate finance and fitness. Those were the only careers I've ever had. Right? I once, I built an insurance company. You understand? So I understand business. And I had to learn. I had to learn to walk away from being a W-2 employee to being my own boss. So choose life, man. Life is so short, especially in America with all the violence. You sending your children to school. Let me tell you guys, people on the continent who are uneducated about people in the diaspora, I should say, who are especially African Americans or just people in general who have never been to the continent of Africa. Most of the stuff you've learned in the books, most of the stuff you learn in school, most of the things you've heard growing up as a child is 100% false. Because even me, I'm ashamed to admit it, before I came to Africa to see with my own eyes, I literally thought everybody here lived in huts. I thought there was nothing but zebras and lions. In fact, for the first 3 months I was here, we used to drive around and I used to tell Tina, you see that tree there? I remember that tree from National Geographic. You remember, right? I'm like, oh my God, I remember watching this on Nature, on PBS, and on Nat Geo, where the lions used to always hang around under this type of tree. I know this tree from watching it on television. And so, but I can tell you, there are so many Americans that are making it in Africa. There are so many people from Mexico, from Russia, from Germany, Canada, China. They see value here.
True.
We have always been, and I'm talking to my brothers and sisters who look exactly like me. Typically, we've always been late to the party. Other races have always beaten us in certain instances. Not because we're stupid, not because we're uneducated. It's because a lot of the stuff, especially financial literacy, investment strategies, the value of life insurance, many of these things our parents never knew. So through sheer ignorance and lack of knowledge, right? Innocent lack of knowledge, we've always been late to the dance. And I'm telling you guys, farming is not the future, it's the main option. If you don't want to get your hands dirty, let your money do the work for you. Many of you right now know that the bubble in American real estate, the dollar itself is in trouble around the globe. Currency fluctuation, oil, this and that. You know what? You know what I can tell you as someone who's on the ground? The price of land never goes down.
No.
The price of food, ask yourself.
Oh my God.
And especially those in Europe, Australia, America, even the ones out in Ghana, ask yourself, when was the last time the price of a gallon of milk price went down? It does not happen. So please, if you've never considered divesting your portfolio, consider investing in farmland, consider investing in agriculture. Again, you don't have to get to the dirt to be in the agribusiness space. You understand? Find the right partners, form the right alliances, make smart investment, even if you take 10% of your portfolio. And if the market takes a downturn for the worse, which I've been there, done that, trust me, I can tell you from experience, when the next bubble come, you're not gonna lose 10% of your portfolio in the stock market. It's usually gonna be 50%. The last time some folks' portfolio were down even 70%. So if you can be proactive and find the right partner on the ground, and you partner with somebody that want to open a avocado farm, or you find somebody that's in meat production, or you find someone who's interested in producing oil, peanut oil, ice cream, any value addition along the chain, whatever you're passionate about. You find that person, you vet them. Again, it doesn't have to be in Africa. But consider the way you're going to protect and divest your investment. A lot of you are scared you're running into gold. Great. That's an option for many of you. But in terms of money you can touch, money you can literally see, that doesn't have to be green, okay? It could be brown, it could be black, it could be in the soil, but it can also be in building a manufacturing facility. And believe me, that 10% you're gonna pull out next week or 6 months from now or a year from now could become far more valuable than the entire asset class you might be sitting in, barely getting you 0.00025%. And I know many of you are sitting out there in your money market getting absolutely nothing. Inflation is eating away at all your money. If you had a good foundation, you have your house, you don't have much debt, you're sitting in cash. And for those of you that are in debt, you need to do something to break the cycle. And believe me, go back in your memory bank. Find out if the price of food has ever come down over the last 10 years. And then you project forward 5 years from now, how much a pound of boar's head turkey cold cuts are gonna cost. How much your favorite half gallon of milk is gonna cost you. Even the price of water, which in itself is becoming a finite resource. Yeah. Be open-minded, put away your pride, have that paradigm shift, and think about the future. More and more people are being born every day, yet the amount of farmland we have is not expanding. It's limited. So you get in now, and your grandchildren, your great-grandchildren will not regret the decision you're gonna make if you invest and choose wisely. That's all I have on the topic.
More on that, whereby you want your children, grandchildren, great-grandchildren to really enjoy from you, is there how you put them into this business as well. As parents, most of you want to build your farms, build your investment, then you never know. We don't live forever. We may die. What are you going to leave for your children? You leave them the investment. How is it going to grow? How is it going to be maintained if you never really introduce them to that project?
True story. When we went to Kenya, I had the pleasure of meeting many, many, many Maasai people. And these are folks I used to watch on television, National Geographic, on YouTube, here and there, to hear about the great Maasai warriors and those clans, right? But some of the richest people I met in Kenya, I didn't meet them in Nairobi. I met them in Kajiado, Isinya, Nyanyuki. These are people like Kipia. These are people that their fathers, grandfathers never even went for first grade education. Yeah. But you know what they had? A vast amount of farm land that has appreciated. You know, in fact, when I was in Cajado County, guys, true story. One of the places we went to purchase sheep, 1 acre of land at some of those farms were going between 6 to 7 million Kenyan shillings. And those were the ones I was considered to be deep inside. One of the other farmers that we purchased sheep from, he's literally leasing his land per plot. Some people are paying between 1.5 million Kenyan shillings up to 2 million Kenyan shillings per month. And to buy an acre from that guy, it starts at 30 to 40 million Kenyan shillings.
He was listing it.
He was listing. And he don't even have to list. They come looking for him.
They come looking for
in
him.
the street. In fact, Yuga Chick is one of his tenants. They have almost like 40 acres of land. And that is a Maasai family. The father, the grandfather, had the foresight to invest in farmland. And now a city has erected around the farm.
Around the farm, by the way. That's what happened.
I don't know what other people say, because I've been talking for a while. You haven't been reading anything.
Watching you from Nyanyuki, Kenya.
My people.
I admire
I
you.
love Nyanyuki. Hey,
Nyanyuki is so nice.
beautiful.
So beautiful.
And we went to the Java house,
Java
you know.
house.
The sausage wasn't that great, but the coffee,
that
you
was
know,
nice.
it was nice.
Nyanyuki was
The
beautiful.
scenery in Nyanyuki
Oh my God.
is one of my favorite parts of Kenya that nobody's talking about.
Yes.
But it's so beautiful.
It is so cold.
Oh my gosh, I love it out there. The mountain views, the people, the friendliness. It never gets dry out on that side. Anyway, please, what's next?
Wow, that is really so nice. But what we also learned, or what I learned from people from Kenya, and how they really train their kids, you know, from when the kid is really very young, they teach them some skills, milking, taking care of the cows, taking care of the sheep as well. They have the skills from childhood. You know, when the parent is going to do the work, they let them, you know, help them along, so that at least someone has interest. You know, when kids go to school and you don't really involve them so much with the work maybe of the farm, it's not going to be very easy for you to really transform them. So when you die, everything is going to fall apart. So it's always good to train your kids as well, so that at least they carry on with a legacy, so that they don't suffer as well, because we do all this to prepare for our kids, our grandchildren, our family in general. Then I also wanted us to discuss about transition, because this is one of the things that I tackled with someone I was doing consultation with. He is in the UK and is moving back he wants to do farming in Tanzania. But of course, he was talking to some people already who approached him that they would help him do the investment. They wanted to do a farm in Tanzania, but this person here on ground, because he went to I think a technical school for agriculture institute to get someone, but the person was pressurizing for money, get us money for this and that all the time. So he felt it was like a red flag to him that this person was asking for money all the time before even work is really done. And he didn't really notice anything that was really happening back this side. So transitioning is a process. For someone who is really abroad and you want to invest back in Africa, in Uganda, wherever you want to go to, first visit. First come and see what is really actually happening on ground. Because the prices people will tell you here may be different. Someone may be just planning to make themselves richer, to make themselves invest in something else. So it's really better for someone to really come here, see the opportunities, see what you can really do for yourself, so that you can make that investment. You can visit once, twice, thrice, but at least come on ground as well. Do not just be a telephone person whereby you think everything is going to be done on phone, even if you have your relatives back here and you think you're going to rely on them. This is also another thing that I was discussing with someone who was investing in Congo. He had these trees, the eucalyptus and other types of trees that he had planted in Congo, but he was in Germany. So he thought he had left it to the brother to take care of these plants. But the brother instead started cutting and selling off the trees. So he didn't really realize, and the brother didn't report to him about that. And remember, he was again planning to invest further on other projects other than the timber that he had planted back there. So I think one of the neighbors called him like about it and asked him like, you're selling these trees here? Isn't it really becoming too much? I was like, no, I'm not yet selling my timber back home. I was like, but your brother is already selling this to other people. So these are some of the things, these are some of the stories that we hear. People really tell us, and it really scares most people who want to invest back here. So it's better for you to at least make an effort. Yeah? Buy that airplane ticket so that you come on ground, so that you can also do your research, so that you can invest further. That's what I think is really much better for transitioning. You don't just come and say, okay, I have my money, I've worked really so hard, I want to invest because you've watched Value Farm doing this and that from Uganda. Let me send my money. Please start for me.
But even before we got to this point, I think I made it very clear you have to find the right partner.
Yeah.
You can't just randomly pick somebody because it's your mom, your dad, or whoever. You need to literally find someone. Sometimes it's best to find a stranger that has a background in agriculture, somebody that you can sign a ironclad contract with, not some starving, pretending wannabe manager. You understand? You need to be around, you know? So go back to the comments, what are the people saying? Because that's my boy. By the way, guys, our friend Rosemo from on YouTube. You guys should go and follow that channel. That guy is a beast. I love the work he's done. He's in South Africa. I think, in my humble opinion, he has some of the best boas out there. So for those of you that are in West Africa, you're looking to get goats, okay? Reach out to my friend Rosemo on YouTube. He's doing a wonderful job. Great breed, great brother, hard worker. I know he's not yet doing it full time because he still has his regular job, but he has a very good team.
Yeah.
And I gotta tell you, when I make it to South Africa, Rosemo, my brother, I hope you have a cabin for me because I'm coming to see you, man, and I'm definitely gonna come pick up my buck from you, bro.
Someone is saying great admiration for you guys from the Caribbean. Some of us can hear you well, and you are right. We are listening and we are encouraged.
I'm glad to hear that. Thank you.
Yeah, then someone is saying he's from Eldoret, Kenya, now venturing into pig farming.
Excellent.
That is amazing. Someone is from Nigeria. I want you to visit Nigeria too.
I'm not, I would love to go to Nigeria.
You always wanted to go to
I
Nigeria.
want to go to Nigeria. I would
Ghana
love
and
to.
Nigeria.
Hey, I'm going to Ghana. Those of you, if anybody is in the chat from Ghana, reach out to me because I want to come visit and spend some time, especially with other farmers in Ghana. Yeah.
Yeah, please add vanilla. Please add value to the vanilla beans in Uganda. Don't export vanilla beans. Thanks to you, Tin and Grafton.
I think that's a great point. My dear friends, family members out here. And all farmers are one part of one big family. But let me tell you guys, it's not just vanilla. Let me tell you guys something. I don't want to go on another soliloquy, but I'll make this quick. If you have some money wherever you are, and if you're a Ugandan who's been gone for the past 30 years, working a career, putting up with somebody who's not even half as smart as you, working a job somewhere in the US or the UK or wherever you are, let me tell you guys something. There's so many opportunities to make money in Uganda and East Africa. And let me tell you, if we're in America, if I wanted to open a juice factory, Tina, it would cost me no less than $5 million. Just to get the building, just to get the permits. It might even take me 10 years to go through all the red tape. But here in Uganda, we are so blessed with so many different fruits, with so many different vegetables, for example. Remember I told you, we have some of the sweetest bananas I've ever had in my life here. The local bokoya.
I was surprised. Okay? I liked them.
And someone right now in Boston, because I know that's where the Ugandans are in America, you can send back here to UG 3, 2, maybe 4 industrial fruit dehydrator. And you can come back home and set up a dry fruit business. And there's enough folks here from the US, Canada, China, France, everywhere. You know what they like? They love to eat their dry fruits. They love their dry dates. They love their dry papayas. You can start a trail mix business. And the fruits you can get, the raw materials, are so readily available. They just need to have value added to them. They need to go from being raw, and you need to transform them into something different. That's just one example of the money that could be made here. You understand? So, guys, I know this stream is going on forever.
Yeah, almost ending.
And it's about to come to an end. But please, open your eyes. Don't let arthritis catch you in the cold winters of Massachusetts, the cold winters of New Jersey, New York. You understand? Minnesota. Because I know a lot of my brothers from Somalia. They are in Minnesota, in the Twin Cities. Okay?
Yeah.
So Sudan, Somalia, listen, come back home. You know, because we need you guys here. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Finish off the rest of the question.
Anthony is one of our biggest fans. He's been watching us like from day one. He's from Nigeria, and he's saying he's inviting you to Nigeria. Anthony,
let me know. We'll make it. We'll stamp the passport in Abuja, wherever.
He's been our biggest fan, by the way.
I have to come visit Anthony, of course.
Yeah, he's been there for us. He's been supportive. You see his comments.
I
always.
do.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Anthony. We really appreciate you so much. Someone is from Zimbabwe, Inside Farm Zimbabwe. I just love how Value Farm has grown as an organization. Keep going strong.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
I love Zimbabwe.
What do you love about Zimbabwe?
You know what I appreciate about even though there's a lot wrong with the Zimbabwe, listen, when we talk about leadership in terms of government and whatever,
it's an African
thing. But no, it's a global thing.
Okay.
So, but what I really admire about what I'm seeing in Zimbabwe, places like Zambia, even Botswana, especially. But let's talk about Zimbabwe. I really love, and I also have to give the Ugandan government some credit as well, because they've actually made some effort to import very, very fine breeds from South Africa, from other parts of the globe. This is not something that they tout. This is something they're doing quietly. And the reason I respect it, because there's a lot of governments in other countries that will beat their chest and say, oh, we spent this many billions importing this here for the farmers. And no. Another initiative the people here in Uganda, the government of Uganda has taken on is trying to educate the local farmers here about the value of cash crops.
True.
Because for the longest time, the main cash crop in Uganda has always been coffee. At one point it was cocoa back in the 60s and 70s. Then it became coffee. But now, right now, including vanilla, right now, the amount of money they're spending on public awareness, teaching local farmers about Hass avocado, the power of the Hass, they've done a wonderful job. And on top of that, to dovetail back to Zimbabwe, when I actually researched the type of breeds that's available in Zimbabwe, Tina, they have the real breeds there. So if you want to be if you want to go into piggery, pork production across the board, if you're in Zimbabwe or near Zimbabwe, you have a leg up on everybody. Because you know here in Uganda, for a very long time, if you wanted to be a pig farmer, unless you import your breeds from South Africa, you could never find real breeds here. But in Zimbabwe, Zambia, all those places, they have the real breeds. Even parts of Nigeria, the government has made it feasible to get some of those real breeds into those countries.
Wow.
So for that, kudos.
Yeah.
Kudos to those groups. And again, I'm not getting paid. This is not a sponsored video.
It's not sponsored,
this is just from my personal observation. I have to give credit where credit is due.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Seriously, I should really appreciate also the Ugandan government for the initiative this year.
Yeah.
Because the president himself was also addressing about it. Was like, you know what? We've been watching, we don't want to jump onto the bandwagon when people are doing the hustle like in Kenya, exporting to China, exporting to Europe, and we are just seated here. We have
the best land.
Yeah, best land, best climate here. Why can't we do it? Of course, we have to also do it for the people and also to benefit our economy, to benefit everyone who's going to do this. And what you already say, training farmers. That
all
is
across the country.
Across the country.
Yeah.
And they're even giving them
seedlings,
for free.
Education, following extension assistance.
Yes.
Empowering some of these local associations. So, listen, I'm not a hater, man. I have to give credit where credit is due.
Yeah, that is very, very true.
What else? What other people are saying here?
We should conclude the stream till next time, I think. What do you think?
No, but there's a few comments here.
Someone is saying greetings from Ghana.
Hello, Ghana.
Hello, Ghana. How are you doing? Thank you for joining us. Of course, there's so many comments that I skipped here. Someone was asking whether you can drink raw goat milk.
Of course you can. If your goats don't have brucella, if they've been tested, and you should always test your animals and not take the risk. But I love goat milk. As a matter of fact, we have so many goats that have produced so many kids over the past 3 weeks. Yours truly, I'm gonna be drinking nothing but goat milk because I have a friend who has a goat farm. She does goat dairy production. Her name is Purity. I'm sure you guys saw her video on Wooded Maya's channel. She's on our channel also. She's a good friend, a dear friend. And I buy her milk from Carrefour. I also buy the yogurt, and also I can just call the number. They deliver straight to my doorstep. But now at the farm, we have even some of our own goats. Even the South African goats produce so much milk.
Yes.
That's another added benefit. People think those goats are just for meat.
Yeah.
But from what I'm seeing, I think I can get at least 1.5 liter.
Yes, that's what even David was saying.
Yeah.
Like, you know what? I think we're going to start milking.
Yeah. No. Starting next week. I think we can get 1.5 liter per each South African female goat at the farm.
True.
So yeah, we're gonna be drinking I'm definitely gonna be drinking goat milk. And I love goat milk.
You love the goat milk. Yeah. I remember the first time you gave me to try.
It was sweet, right? It was nice.
I was scared.
I remember that. You thought it was gonna be bad.
I was like, oh my god, this is too much. And you forced me to try it. And I tested it and it was really good. Then when I went to Purity's,
you had it again. It was also good.
Real tea. It was tea now, this time. And it was really good. I can't even despise goat milk. Sometimes you don't know, not until you test something, not until you try something. But goat milk is really very delicious. And of course, the people who really want to do dairy goat farming as well. Equip yourself with the skills. It is possible. It's doable. Other people
reach out to our friend Purity. She'll train you. She'll guide you.
Yeah.
And you'll be okay.
That is so true.
What
Someone
else?
is saying, I love them. Akoli, cattle, please protect the species.
Of course. The Ancoles, we have them.
Okay.
We have a few at the farm.
We have Ancoles. Then, of course, the people who really want to come for trainings as well, because one of our friends, shout outs to Amito, she's posted for us about people coming, and of course, I've been getting tons of calls from her as well, supporting friends. So she's been supporting us as well, and people wanted dairy cows
Nice.
as well. Yes. So those are common questions that I was receiving of late. They're like, oh, do you have dairy cows? We want to start a dairy farm. That is also possible. We have cows already at the farm, but Of course, it's in a small scale for now. But of course, with time, you never know, we're going to scale up as well, so that we can also do more content on that, and we also share our experiences on that as well. But we appreciate you guys so much for everything, for the support, for the love. I think this is it for today.
I'm done. I feel like I've poured enough of my heart and soul
for today.
To you guys. I'm exhausted. I know Tina's exhausted. And yeah, that's all she wrote from me.
Yeah, but we really appreciate you guys so much. I think we shall be doing this more often as well. We're not going to disappear.
And if we don't do it more often, don't blame me. You blame this lady here. 100%.
You know, you also sometimes hinder. So not only me.
Tina, it's always me reminding you there's such a thing as a live stream. Thank you. Thank you. You can't even keep a straight face. You know you're guilty.
But you're not going to disappear next time. At least we are going to do this more often as well, so that we can at least address some of the questions as well. We want to address your questions for those who really want consultations, but you can't have the time. You can put your question here once in a while as well, but also support the channel as well. When we do these live streams, you can support by donating, by becoming our member as well, by giving a
some of you might want to actually sponsor our content. If you're in the agro field, you want to promote what you're doing. If it aligns with our values, we'll consider options. And of course, we're here to support each other.
And of course, upcoming farmers, we are really passionate about you guys so much, because you want, guys, there's a lot in this field and there's no competition. So people who really want to be very rigid and feel like,
pray for those people.
Yeah, there's a lot. We can't really, it's a big cake. Come on. We can't finish the whole market in Uganda. For goats, we can't even supply enough. For pigs, we can't even supply enough. Even if we recommend to our other friends. Because what happens when we don't have some of the animals, we of course recommend, even depending on your location, we always recommend, like, oh, you're near to this farm, please go to our friend Richard, or go to Purity, go to this farm here. You'll definitely get. But we can't really finish, we can't satisfy the whole market, because there's need as well. So do not be there and feel like, okay, the competition is stiff, I can't really share this. But we really appreciate you so much for the love and support. If you haven't subscribed and you're still watching us at this point, I don't know what you're still waiting for. Subscription is free, sharing is free, they will not charge you not even a penny. Maybe you just load data on your phone to watch the content. That is it. And of course, the knowledge that you acquire from this live stream, from the videos that we put out there, is priceless. This is knowledge that is going to change your life, change your life in general. So please share with your friends and family. Do not be selfish as well, so that we can have a bigger family as well, because our goal is to reach 150 subscribers at least by end of next month.
150K, I would say.
150K, yes.
So 150.
I thought I'd put that K. At least by the end of the month. So help us reach the goal as well, so that we can have a bigger family, so that we can also share our inspirations here. But we appreciate you guys so much. Asante sana. How do they say kwaheri in French? Thank you.
Au revoir. Passez bonne nuit. Bonsoir.
Yes, thank you so much, guys. See you in the next one. Bye. We have a video that is also coming up. Of course, we shall be having that in the week. Do not forget to subscribe, turn on your notification bells not to miss out, because it's also very informative. Till next time, bye. Have a good night, guys. It's already 1 here. Wow.